when Bola Tinubu came in, what he's done is not different from what Waziri Atiku Abubakar said he was going to do, and what Peter Obi said was going to do. So it amounts to intellectual dishonesty for anybody to begin to come here and then to need to say that, oh, Nigeria is collapsing. No.
But the most important thing that is responsible for where we are today is the complete breakdown of the rule of law. Nigeria as it is today is not ruled by law. It is ruled by impunity. It is ruled by the will of men and not by any institution or state or by the laws. And we have copious laws on our books, so it's not for the absence of the law. It's not for an absence of courts, but it is for the absence of the fact that there is simply no rule of law in Nigeria.
Hello guys, welcome once again to Think Tank TV. Guys, I'd like you to turn on your seat belts, as it was an unimaginable collision between Reno Omokiri and Dele FArotimi. Interestingly, they are both lawyers and social commentators with divergent views on the state of the nation of Nigeria. Yes, many say they are both controversial, but the truth is that one of them is optimistic while the other is pessimistic in their insight to the state of Nigeria. I'd like you to sit back and watch the clash between these two lawyers on a national television that has gained a lot of reactions in and around Nigeria. But please, don't go anywhere. I'd like to give you my thoughts about their divergent views of the state of Nigeria. Take a look.
Do you think that Nigeria is on course to that great country that all of us, I dare say, dream about? Reno?
Well, I think so. A lot of people tend to be sentimental about it, and we must focus on what cannot lie. We must focus on facts. During the election, during the campaigns, all the candidates, except Rabi Mr. Kwankwaso, said they were going to remove subsidy and they were going to float the naira, all of them. And that's what we expected, because the Buhari regime ought to have done that. They didn't do that. You kept on borrowing $1.5 billion every month to sustain the naira at the level, the naira at the rate that it was. And then we're also borrowing to sustain fuel subsidy. When Bola Tinubu came in, what he's done is not different from what Waziri Atiku Abubakar said he was going to do, and what Peter Obi said was going to do. So it amounts to intellectual dishonesty for anybody to begin to come here and then to need to say that, oh, Nigeria is collapsing. No, we're going through some growing pains. We're being weaned. But what is happening right now, I support it. Fuel subsidy had to go. We know the naira had to be floated. We couldn't have had multiple exchange rates. And they're saying that the results are happening. I mean, it's very, very clear. Fuel importation into Nigeria has reduced from 2.49 billion liters every single day. That was in May. And then in June, it reduced to 1.49. And right now, as I speak to you right now, it has now reduced further to 1.1 billion liters a day. So fuel importation into Nigeria has reduced by more than 50%. So that means the removal of fuel subsidy has worked. And then also, local refinery has increased by 8%. So that means that we're now getting a backward integration of fuel. And it's not just that. If you look at the issue in Nigeria, before fuel subsidy was removed, the problem that we were having trade deficits. I'm sure you saw the figures from the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, the National Bureau of Statistics. Nigeria now has a trade surplus. As at the last time the figures were given in September, we've not seen the next figure for the last quarter of 2023. But for the third quarter of 2023, we had a surplus of 2.2 trillion. So we are seeing results. And it's not just that. Now, capital importation into Nigeria has increased by 66%. So we are actually seeing results. So it's very, very intellectually dishonest to now say that, oh, that Nigeria is in a terrible situation and we've never been this bad since the Civil War. No. And to say that there's no rule of law in Nigeria, that is the rule of man. No. Peter Obi went to court. Even in his own petition when he went to the Supreme Court, and even before then, he never alleged that he won the election. Read his petition. I've read it. I don't know if other people who are making these claims have read the petition. He did not say that he won. What he claimed is that the president, Bola Tinubu, could not be president because he had been convicted in the United States at the court in Chicago. That was what was alleged, and that the vice president, the current vice president, was not properly nominated because he had been nominated twice, once as a senator and then on the other time as the vice presidential nominee. And in both cases, the court threw that out because on the facts of the law, he was wrong. He did not say that he won. And this is why, I mean, even if you're going to say, okay, everybody is a psychopath, are you going to say Professor Wole Soyinka is a psychopath? Professor Wole Soyinka
56 years old this year. And in my entire lifetime, we've never been further away from the path to greatness than we are today. The future of Nigeria appears more bleak today than it has ever been in my entire lifetime. I'm a student of history too, and with the possible exception of the period during which Nigeria fought a civil war, which is anything but civil, Nigeria has never been closer to the brink than it is today. So I am not very optimistic about the trajectory of my country.
Okay, so I would like to, deepen that a little bit. First of all, by saying, who and what circumstances will you hold responsible for that scenario that you have painted? And then later, I hope we get the time to talk about how do we get out of it. But first, who and what circumstances, Mr. FArotimi, do you hold responsible for the scenario you've painted?
I think the first thing is that there are enough blames to go around. Each and every one of us are to blame to varying degrees. But the most important thing that is responsible for where we are today is the complete breakdown of the rule of law. Nigeria as it is today is not ruled by law. It is ruled by impunity. It is ruled by the will of men and not by any institution or state or by the laws. And we have copious laws on our books, so it's not for the absence of the law, it's not for an absence of courts, but it is for the absence of the fact that there is simply no rule of law in Nigeria. The first thing that must exist in a space before you can speak to either democracy or citizens is the presence of the rule of law in that space. We are in a country where I cannot expect to get justice in the courts because the courts are no longer interested in imposing or ensuring the rule of law. That principal loss, more than anything else, is responsible for where we are today.
You've seen it for yourself. Now, as much as Reno Omokiri may be right in his point that Bola Tinubu, Atiku and Peter Obi had the same campaign promises on the modus operandi of their policies when they get into office, I like to say this. The truth is that three people may have the same policies, may have the same ways they want to approach a matter. But like I posted on the first day that Bola Tinubu assumed office, there must be mitigative measures to buffer the sufferings that would come with some of the actions that will be taken by government. Another very annoying issue is the issue of the confidence of the people on the government. The government comes out to say this is their position by virtue of the current financial situation of the country. It must be shown in their own actions. You can't expect the people to have confidence in a government who wakes up and say there's no fund, but it does not reflect on the spendings on their own self. The government came out and said the funds in Nigeria is not enough, but you can see them still living as though it is a country that has so much wealth, buying exorbitant cars for themselves, building houses, renovating the vice president's house with 15 billion naira, going ahead to buy 160 million naira vehicles for National Assembly members, and you come out and say the government does not have money. This is what we're talking about, that the policies of the government must be reflected on their actions in order to gain the confidence of the people. Another major issue of contention is the issue of coming up with irrelevant statistics. Just like Reno Omokiri mentioned in this video, you can't come up with statistics that someone stays somewhere and comes up with in the name of survey. A statistics that has no impact on the lives of the people. That is very, very laughable. We should be talking about statistics that is going to be showing in the lives of the citizens. Please, I'd like you to go to the comment section and drop your thoughts. Let's get to know what you think about the plight of Reno Omokiri and Dele FArotimi, and we shall continually be here to serve you. Many thanks indeed to all our viewers and returning subscribers. Really do not take it lightly. My name again is Moses, and this is Think Tank TV. Please intentionally do well to hit the like button so that YouTube can recommend this video for more people to get to see and enjoy this video. See you on our next video. Bye for now.